Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV. My name's Bernie Weemers and we're bringing to you tonight live the final round, round 20 of the Australian Online Supercar Championship, coming to you from Bathurst for the Bathurst 650. And Daniel, it's a retro round tonight.
Yeah, g'day Bernie, welcome viewers. Got some great looking cars out here tonight, and as you said, retro livery round, so pick your favourite car and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to be super awesome, that's for sure, and the guys are out there qualifying at the moment. But before we get into that, let's have a look at some of the track facts we've got up here. And hang on a second, I will get the track facts in a moment. Okay, let's try again. So Daniel, we're just having a look at the night tonight. They reckon we're going to do 105 laps around here, and the fuel burns about 4.6 litres per lap. So, and they're talking about a pit stops required for. Did you want to have a chat about the fuel strategy here?
Yeah, so it's going to probably it's going to be very interesting tonight, because obviously we're going to have the two random safety cars that we normally get with an endurance round, and obviously if there's any major issues at the initial start. So for the four stops, guys are probably going to be a bit easy on whether they extend the range and maybe try and push that stint out a little longer, but four stops is probably going to get you home quite comfortably, and everyone obviously will be taking tyres, so I think the speeds will be nice and consistent over those runs as well.
Yeah, and I've just clicked off it. Okay, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting as far as they go, and you're saying the consistency with the tyres, is that right? Yeah,
so you need reasonably good consistency on your tyres, especially as you're getting up over the top of the mountain here. So, and if the guys are battling too wide, and you obviously get a bit of dirt as the race goes on, they're going to be looking for every little bit of grip they can get. So, you'd be a brave man not to take tyres in a stint. You might save a little bit of time in a stop, but overall, you're probably going to come out second best.
Yeah, and it looks like the first pit window opens from lap 9 to 25, and that's going to really work out where they're going to pit, and they're either going to go longer at the start or shorter, and then the last pit window is between laps 81 and 96, it looks like it closes.
Yeah, so we're looking 81 to 96 for these ones. Obviously, end of the race, we're 105 lap event for this one, so if you can run out maybe to lap 80, put in a nice short stint of fuel and some fresh tyres, you'll be in really good position at the end. Yeah,
and of course for those joining us on iRacing Live tonight, welcome, but for those people that aren't used to this series, there's a few things that are unique about it, aren't there? And the main one is the random safety cars. If there's a big incident, we can expect one coming out within 3 laps. But then, can you explain to the viewers, Daniel, about how the rest of the race will go as far as safety cars go?
Yeah, so with the random safety cars, obviously, we mentioned earlier the Enduros. You've got 2 of them. They basically give the timer to one guy. He finds a good number and will randomly select a pace car to come out. So you've always got that guessing game in the back of your mind as to how you play it. Do you pit under safety car, or do you try and beat it and second guess where it might be? But the one you just touched on earlier too, just with the initial safety car we could potentially see, it's going to depend how quickly these guys can get into single file and get down the other side of the mountain. We've seen a lot of 2x2 racing through most of this season so far, so if that continues across the top of the hill, I'd be expecting something maybe the end of lap 1 if we're not careful.
Yeah, well, Bathurst normally serves it up to them on the first lap. Hopefully they'll go easy, but saying that, we've got 44 cars out there vying for position, and it's going to be very busy for the drivers, that's for sure. Now, the other part that's unique to this series is the penalties that are issued out now. I think they're normally issued out every 30 incident points, and they normally get like a stop and go or a stop and hold once they reach those limits.
Yeah, so we'll have live race control tonight for this one. Just trying to quickly flick back. So, what have we got? We've got, 30-second black flag once you exceed the limit, which I can't actually see what the limit is. So, might have to check in with our race organiser, Nick Heusler, and just see what that incident cap is, just so we're aware and able to keep an eye on who may or may not be getting penalties.
Yeah, definitely, because that can later on in the race definitely affect teams and how they perform out there tonight. Let's have a look at our point score. So the overall driver standings at the moment, Ian Ford's pretty much wrapped this up. I think he's got 4,510 points for Evolution Racing Team 1. He's then got his teammates in second, Riley Blythe, 490 points behind him, and Luke Harvey, 511 points behind him in third. Now, those guys are going to be pretty much vying for second and third, but apart from that, Daniel, it looks pretty much sorted on the point score there.
Yeah, definitely. I've just looked through the timings at the moment. It looks like we're going to have Ian Ford and Luke Harvey actually teaming up for tonight's event, and they're up in second place at the moment. So second and third, you might have a really tight battle. I mean, it's 103 points between those two, and Thomas Hinz, who's been doing really good this season, he's only 270 points behind. So there's possibly a change up between positions 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, and then looking at the team point scores, well, it looks like again ERT's pretty much wrapped this up. They're 1,923 points ahead of Stealth Sim Sport 1, and they look like they're going to hold second for Evolution Racing Team 2, who's sitting there in third spot. But Stealth Sim Sport 2, they might have something to say about that, and there could be a bit of a competition for the final step on that podium.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, there's no better place to come to finish off a season than Bathurst. So if any one of those teams in the top four there, so either Stealth Sim Sports 1, Evolution Racing Team 2 or Stealth Sim Sports 2 put a foot wrong, we could see the likes of maybe Progressive Racing moving up into position 3 or a bit of a change in that whole top 5 structure. But take nothing away from Evolution Racing Team 1. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job this season. I mean, the points speak for themselves. Nearly 2,000 point lead. They've done outstanding.
Yeah, they certainly have. And for the viewers out there, the cars to keep an eye on tonight, any of the ERT cars, as this race goes on, they normally get stronger, and that's through not only speed but also race strategy, so keep an eye on them. The other team is of course Stealth Sim Sport, both cars there, keep an eye on them, they're just as strong. And also, if we've got any out there tonight, the Synergy Sim Racing boys are normally very good at these longer races.
Yeah, definitely, and probably one of the dark horse ones that we didn't really mention is Laser Racing. Obviously, we saw Jason Bentz last week. I think he was position 4 at Mosport, so flew under the radar, very quiet, very consistent, but he's got a chance to make a good impact in this race as well.
Yeah, so I'll definitely keep an eye on him, and I can guarantee, folks, the guys here, they're going to be they've probably been practicing here all week, but they normally can't get enough of Bathurst, so I don't think there's going to be any problems with the guys not knowing their way around the track, as we see Brenton Hobson into the wall heavily, and he's trying to gather it up over Skyline, and it looks like he's going to lose it. So that's not a place to go off.
No, not at all. So he might get one last chance at a hot lap. We're just coming into 4 minutes remaining of the qualifying session now, so if he's quick, he might get one final flying lap there. Yeah,
we're looking at our top 10 at the moment. We can see Dane Warren, that's a new name I haven't heard from before. All-Star Motorsports VF, the number 313 team. He's sitting in provisional pole at the moment. He's set a time 203.773. In second, we've got ERT, Ian Ford, with a 204. And then Brenton Hobson, he may get out there. He's in a 205.119. So the top two, they are well and truly spread out, aren't they, as far as times go?
Yeah, what are we looking at? 1.1 seconds between second and third, and about a second and a half between positions 1 and 3. But All-Star Motorsport, we normally see in some of the big enduros, those guys tend to creep up to the front. So maybe another one we should be keeping an eye on. But you mentioned earlier, Synergy Simsport up in 3rd position. Great qualifying so far for those guys.
Yeah, and in 4th at the moment, that's number 26, Bo Cubis, is driving that car, and it's called This Is Our Team name, so we'll keep an eye on them. And then, of course, a new team, Tempo Motorsport, sitting in 5th. So that's your top 5 as we count down the final minutes of qualifying, folks. Got to work out how to get rid of all these things. It's all going crazy on me here.
Yeah, I'm just having a look just at some of the guys going around. It looks like Dane Warren is still sitting in pits, so he may have called it a night, and they're getting ready with the race setup on that car at the moment. Just watching Ian Ford, he's just cracking on through the cutting, and he's on a quick lap at the moment too, so that could be a possible time change there in 2nd.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look, folks. It seems like we've lost sound, and I'm just trying to work out where we've lost it. So bear with us for a moment. It's most bizarre, Daniel. We've just lost sound on iRacing completely.
Oh, very, very interesting. Got to love the odd technical glitches we go through these events.
Yeah, well, everything else is fine, so I'll just check the iRacing, but it's very bizarre. It just cut out.
Very odd, very odd.
So maybe while I'm doing this, you could do a tap dance or something. How about that?
Oh, I'm not much of a dancer, so I'm sure the guys wouldn't want to see my ugly feet trying to dance around on the screen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, very odd. I'm not quite sure what's happened on that one.
Have you got sound at your end?
Yep, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm checking everything on here. Everything looks... Oh, now we've got sound back. So that was very strange. Anyway, I didn't touch anything, folks. It just came back.
Oh, the joys of live broadcasting. Obviously, we see the drivers having issues with their hardware, and we're no different up in the comm box.
Yeah, exactly right. And how long have we got till the end? 16 seconds, so we caught that perfectly as far as getting the sound back. Let's hope we don't have any other glitches. But we'll go through the grid very shortly. At the moment, Dane Warren's out there, just coming out on an out lap, so he's not going to complete. But keep an eye on Ian Ford as he comes down across the top of the mountain, and we'll see. He's got 3 minutes to finish this lap for it to be classified.
Yeah, one of the nice things about watching Ian drive, he's very smooth on the controls. You don't really often see him locking a brake or getting the car too sideways. He's a very controlled driver, but really gets the good times out of it.
Yeah, we'll have a look at well, we won't have a look at the telemetry. I'm having a shocker tonight because the race over won't get around, but we can see him now just coming into the chase, slamming down through the gears. He's probably down to, what, 3rd gear through here, or would it be 2nd?
Depends on your setup. A lot of guys will probably take the safe bet and pull it back into 2nd. If you've got the setup under you can probably do it in 3rd, but you're going to be a little bit slower on the exit. But that coming through the chase, we see it in real life. It's a phenomenal overtaking zone, and these guys will definitely be looking to use that to their advantage tonight. Yeah,
so especially under the brakes there, and as Whincup would say, the move could be on. Just having a look at that time that Ian set, it wasn't actually counted, so I think he's not going to improve on this. He's got 1:48 to complete a lap. He's going to run out of time. Have a look at Thomas McMillan. He's coming in. What about... Oh, Glenn Postlethwaite has rolled it, so that's the end of him as far as qualifying. We've got... looks like most of them are done.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone that's Still on maybe a fly. Maybe Sean Thompson here. He's coming down Conrad Straight at the moment, just about to tuck into the chase.
Yeah, you can see him now coming down through the gears into the chase in the beautiful retro livery there. Looks like an old Marlboro Kiani mash-up there. And he's got 2 wheels off coming out of the chase and he bails. So I reckon let's go through the grid because it's a big one. We have 45 cars to call here. So looking at the grid, All Star Motorsports takes pole position with a 203.773, and in second will be Evolution Racing Team 1 with a flat 204. Synergy Sim Racing 1 will start out at 3, followed by This Is Our Team Name in 4th, and Tempo Motorsport, they're going to start out at 5th tonight. Out of 6 is Progression Racing Australia 1, followed by Synergy Sim Racing 7. Stealth Sim Sport 1 will start out of 8th, with Evolution Racing Team the 888 in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Evolution Racing Team 227.
In 11th we've got Laser Racing 1, 12th is Laser Racing 3, 13th Laser Racing, 14th we've got PFR GTI 4, 15th is Stealth Sim Sports 2, 16th is Zuva Racing, 17th Synergy Sim Racing, Precision iRacing Team in 18th, PFR GTI 1 in 19th, and Redback Racing, which is the 031 car, in 20th.
Out of 21st, we'll have Performance Motorsports Chassis 4, followed by Performance Motorsports Chassis 1 in 22nd. Zuva Racing will start out at 23rd, with Stealth Sim Sport 5 out of 24th. Evolution Racing Team, the 226, will start out of 26th tonight. 25th. Townsville Mobile Locksmiths will start out at 26th. 27th, we have Stealth Sim Sport 7, followed by SDC Motorsports 31, and then High Tech Racing HTR 4 in 29th. Out of 30 will be Redback Racing Team, the RRT 149 team.
31st is Drift School Australia, 32nd Stealth Sim Sports 3, Performance Motorsports in 33, Redback Racing 032 in 34th, Stealth Sim Sports 6 in 35th, Stealth Sim Sports 4 in 36th, Rusty Nuts Australia in 37th, Team Ned Huth in 38th, West End Mazda in 39th, and Team Adrian Zeal in 4th. And the cars that haven't set a time are Performance Motorsports Chassis 3, Progressive Racing Australia, Team Warren Gilbert, Kai Mike Racing Australia, and Team Farnsworth Manor.
So we'll see how they go, but we're under starters orders here, folks. You finished just in time, Daniel. Revs are rising here at Bathurst, and we're underway here for the Bathurst 650, coming into Hell Corner for the first time. Hold your breath, folks. Here we go.
I just see Bo Kubis just running a little wide as they head up Mountain Straight for the first time here. He's just getting back on track now.
Yeah, and we've got a few cars in the gravel, but everyone's gone through. But as they come in too wide here, we've got Dane on the inside, and the Logitech entry, that'd be Ian Ford, I think it is, on the outside. He tucks back in now, and we've got 3 wide further in the field, and let's hope they get across the mountain without any major incident.
Yeah, just keeping on Jared Lawson up too wide in through the cut. It's a brave move on cold tyres there. He just got up beside Cody Trainer.
I'm just getting everything sorted at this end, and we can see also now Ryder Sullivan is tucking in behind Craig Jones. They're there in 7th and 8th position as we see them streaking across the mountain here for the first time.
It's a great sight watching all these cars as they fly over the top there, isn't it?
It certainly is, and they've just gone over the grate there, coming across Skyline into the S's and the Dipper, of course.
It's very easy to lock a brake just as you get up into Forest Elbow there, and the guys are going to be very careful of that, because if you snatch a brake there, you're either trying to make a move up the inside, you're likely to take 1 or maybe 2, 3 cars out there.
Yeah, it's one thing they've definitely got to watch, isn't there? There's absolutely no runoff in this track. As we can see further back now, Pozzie's making a move too wide into the chase on the outside. He makes it stick over Gene Fittis there in 8th, but tell you what, they're they're not holding back here. The 005 at the moment is also having a crack.
Yeah, some great racing all around. I've just kept a quick eye on Dane Warren up in the All-Star Motorsports car. He's showing him a real clean set of heels, and just watching Shane Reno's just lost it getting through the chase and being collected by Paul Chachichi for Townsville Mobile Locksmith. Paul's car's got a lot of damage on the front end there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of rubbing going on back here as well between Ryder Sullivan and Bo Cubis. They've been banging panels going up the front straight. Now we've got Craig Jones defending from Ryder Sullivan as Ryan is having a look on, that's Thomas Millinan, sorry, having a look on the inside of Craig. He makes that move. Keep an eye out for Ryder Sullivan.
You'd almost think it was the last lap of the race, the way they're driving at the moment, but the boys still doing quite well. We haven't seen any major wrecks that have needed to bring out a safety car, so maybe you give it 2 to 3 laps here, they'll start settling down, the gaps will open up and everyone will be single file across the top.
Yeah, well, we're riding at the moment on our gyro cam here, folks, with Bo Cubis as we come across the mountain. Keep an eye on the telemetry, 191 kilometres an hour, 4th gear. Now they're coming up into the S's, hard on the brakes, down through the gears here. It should drop into 2nd for the dipper, and just look at how much runoff he doesn't have.
Oh, it's amazing how quick you can get through these cars, and they really absorb the bumps once you get that set up right through the dipper. And Bo's just really putting on a good show. Nice clean racing though by all involved. I mean, they're all uptight in that little pack there as well.
Yeah, they're having a fantastic race back here, aren't they? And meanwhile, up front, folks, if we have a look, we've got Dane Warren leading, and then we've got Brenton Hobson in 2nd, followed by Luke Harvey behind him. Now, these guys have quite a bit of a gap back to Pozzi and Gene Fittis there. And then we look further back, and they've dropped Thomas McMillan in 6th. Oh, and we've got the 56 hard into the wall. That's Craig Jones. He's sitting in the middle of the track, and he's just got it off. But let's have a look at that replay.
He was very lucky there not to collect a car. He sort of rolled back on the middle of the circuit there, and it's certainly not a place you want to be stranded.
Yeah, and it looks like he's done it all himself, which he has. He got 2 wheels up on the ripple strip as he came out of the chase there, and as we saw last week, he just got it on the ripple strip, didn't even go over it, and that car got unsettled. Yeah,
and we were commenting it last week too. I mean, that's possibly maybe something car related or setup, but definitely a hard start to this race for them. So I think we got Craig's just coming in, doing a fast repair and a stop, so that sort of sets them back behind the 8 ball, but off strategy, so they might even be able to make something once that safety car does come out.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to make something. He's gone into the pits to get that car repaired. You can see at the moment Adam Zeidinger out there. He's in 10th in the 888, and he's got Matthew Wall just behind him in the Laser Racing 1 car. We've also got a car slowing up the top of the mountain, trying to get a hold of who that is, but they're definitely slowing there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. That's Dean Landy in the Stealth Sim Sport 6 car 39. He's actually just pulled into a stop just as they tucked down off Skyline there, just to let everyone sort of through safely. So good eyes by him to sort of not cause an issue if he has bent that car a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's definitely struggling. I'm trying to get him up on the screen at the moment, but there's so many cars here, I'm struggling just to find them.
Yeah, he was very lucky there. He looked like he caught the inside wall getting on the dipper as he's tried to stay out of everyone's way. It sort of slowed him up, but I'm not actually too sure what's happened to him there, because the car looks quite straight. There's no major marks or bumps or anything, so maybe he's just looped it, saved it, and he's just getting back into the rhythm of things now.
Yeah, and I guess he had good foresight there to actually get out of everyone's way over the top of the mountain there. But we've had a few close calls tonight already. I've noticed there's about 3 cars that are in trouble. We'll go through them. The 56 had to come into the pits after that impact with the car, as well as the 08 Liam Wild. It looks like he may have retired. I'm trying to get him on. It looks like he not sure if he has retired, Bob Fuse and the Rusty Nuts Australia entries also had to take to the pits already, and Dean Landy, that's a car we saw slowing at the top of the mountain, has also had to take a repair.
Yeah, I'm not... Oh no, we've still got the Supercar out there. They're running down Conrod Straight at the moment, the 08. It looks like Liam Wild's still behind the wheel there, but one of the other cars I noticed that had come into the lane, where was he? Obviously we saw Paul, he had that big issue where he contacted one of the other cars and had all that front end damage. He's come through the lane. Actually, is in stopping now.
Okay. And we'll keep an eye on that, and we can see this is our team name. I like that, and very catchy. They should get a t-shirt made with that on it. At the moment, Bo Cubis, he's defending against Jared Lawson right behind him. Jared's got some internet connection issues going on though, and hopefully they'll get that sorted. And then Jared Lawson's just behind them, so there are quite a few battles deeper in the field. Of course, up front, Dane Warren, he has a gap now of 4.1 seconds, and we're only on to lap 3 here.
Yeah, he looks to be doing it very easy, doesn't he? I mean, that car was extremely quick through qualifying, and only Ian Ford was within half a second of him, so I don't think he's really stressing the car that much, but he's really setting nice times out there.
Yeah, he's going to want to make sure he doesn't upset the car, because it takes, one mistake around here and your race is pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have a bin through turn 1, I mean, you've got what normally would be a touch over 2 minutes high speed lap to something that could be 3-4 minutes if you're not careful.
Yeah, exactly right. And just having a look as they come up Mountain Straight for the 4th time here. Got Bo Cubis going around a car slowing on the inside. He's a lap down. Not sure which car that is, but already we've got a couple falling a lap.
Yeah, that was Bob Fuse in the Rusty Nuts car, but I just saw him contacting one of the ERA cars. I'm trying to look at who that was there that he got.
Should also give a shout out early in the race here. The Triple Eight's carrying some damage here, and this is Adam Zeidinger. He's racing against Gene Fittis in front of him, and he's got Jaden Ward behind him. One thing about Adam tonight, folks, if you see him, wish him happy birthday, because it's his birthday today.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be the happiest birthday boy. He actually had the coming together with the Rusty Nuts car just as they turned into turn 2 there, so that's where his bit of damage has come from, but he's certainly getting hounded at the moment by Jaden Borg in that Stealth Sim Sports car, which looks like a retro of, what is it, the old Shell Helix DJR cars.
We've also got a car around coming down the mountain just after the dipper there, Daniel. I'm not sure who that was. It was the black and green car.
Yeah, that's Jared Lawson for Progression iRacing car 33. Just going to quickly roll back and just see what damage or what caused that damage that he's got on that car now.
Yeah, so he's got it back pointing the right way. Don't know how he did it, because there's not a lot of turning at that part of the circuit, but he has done it.
Yeah, he's actually copped a little bit of a helping hand in the rear of the car from, it's like Matthew Wall of Laser Racing there. Has just got him as they come out of the dipper there and sent him into the wall hard.
We've just also had Todd Parks into the wall, exiting the chase. It was identical. We'll jump back on him. Pretty much identical to what happened earlier. And I'm just going to see if he gets his 2 wheels back on the curb, and if that's done the same thing and unsettled the car. And it has. As soon as he got his wheel up there on the curb, around he goes.
Yeah, so it's something maybe iRacing are going to need to look into, or potentially one of the settings the guys are using in the back of the car.
Yeah, it's definitely, I've noticed it since the last build, but I didn't think they did any updates, but the V8 Supercar is normally quite forgiving, but the last 2 rounds we have seen the guys having a bit of trouble with that.
Yeah, it's very odd, but I mean, the hard part is the way iRacing's got it built now, that everyone's locked into a setup. Literally the only change you can do is a tyre pressure adjustment, which really is not going to save them on those curves if the car's not handling the way they want.
exactly right. So it could be stiffly sprung, it could be their tyre pressures, I guess, that some of them might have to look at. But I tell you what, Adam Zeidinger coming down the hill here, his car looks mighty second hand, but it seems to be handling all right, and he continues around there in ninth position.
Yeah, and he's actually extending a little bit of a gap on Jaden Borg and Gene Fiddles as well, and we saw those guys right up close after Adam had that little bit of a coming together with the Rusty Nuts car. So it doesn't look like it's affected Adam too much, but he might be alright if he stays in that draft, especially down Conrod.
Yeah, with that amount of damage he probably will have to, but just having a look as he comes around, let's see if he's still carrying that damage. He is. The reason I mention that, folks, is I think it was Circuit Villeneuve. Their panels would fall off and then they'd go 2 corners in and they'd magically reappear back on the cars again.
The magical panel fairies are out at it again, eh? It looks like not tonight, but maybe later on we might see them back.
Yeah, you never know. You can see Thomas Hinds at the moment in the 085 entry. PFR GTI. I think he's teamed up with Sean Thompson tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys go. They're currently sitting in 13th. Right behind him is David Baxter for Redback Racing Team, and their retro livery tonight. That looks like a Ford in Nissan livery there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of blasphemy for the Nissan faithful there, but I mean, even in the old days when that livery was on the old R31 Skyline, it looks quite striking. And I mean, as much as it's a Ford and it's not a Skyline like I'd like to see out there, it still looks quite good.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it's good to see a lot of the guys going to the effort tonight for our retro round. We'll actually point out the cars as we see them. I'm not going to know all these cars, so we're going to have to depend on all our viewers in the chat channel tonight to steer us right on what these cars are representing out there.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we saw Adam Zeitinger's car. I think that's one of Craig Lowndes' old 888 liveries when they were still running the Ford, and it was a Better Electrical sponsorship before they changed over to Vodafone.
Yeah, that's right. It's Better Electrical, that one, and it looks really nice too. Apart from all the dings he's put in it, but they'll get that sorted out.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's something we normally see most of the time with ERT now. The cars that they put up are very nice, well presented. It's good look for the sponsors as well.
Oh, definitely. And the guys have spent a lot of time on these cars. You can definitely see that. And let's have a look up the front though. What livery is that one?
Well, who are we looking at the moment?
Dane Warren. I don't know if that is a retro livery. It certainly looks like it's retro, but maybe it's a Rack Corp retro.
Let me just have a quick look. I'm just going to jump up to that car and we'll have a quick gaze of it. No, I think that looks like one of theirs. I don't think I've seen that design on any previous V8s. I mean, it's possible it could be something from the development series, or what's the other one we run, the Super Sedans or something like that, I think it is, but it doesn't quite look like something I've seen previously.
Yeah, it's not something I've seen before either, but definitely looks good. Having a look at his lap times now, the fastest lap Dane set tonight, 2:04.827. He's actually backed that off quite a bit now. He's got an 8.3 second gap back to Hobbo in second, and he's circulating in the low 206s. So it's really going to be now, I think, a matter of managing that gap, because there's no point going like a cut snake out of a saloon, I guess. That's my saying. Because we're going to get a safety car coming out and he's going to lose that gap anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, if any of our viewers out there remember watching Le Mans last weekend, we saw what happened to the number one car. You know, they backed off after, I think they were close to a 10-second lap lead, and about half an hour to an hour after the Toyotas went out, it went out as well with no drive.
Yeah, well, the Le Mans was quite interesting, wasn't it? There was a lot of cars in a lot of trouble there. LMP1, I didn't think anyone was going to actually finish their race.
No, not at all. But I think it was a Porsche number 2. 13 laps down at one point to come back and lead and win. So that's it goes to show just how quick those damn cars are. And if iRacing's able to get their hands on one of those 919s, it would be phenomenal.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I'm sure they're probably working on it in the background a little bit somewhere. Can see Brenton Hobson on the screen now. His last lap a 2:07.026. Dane Warren just scorched a 2:05.936. So Hobbo's now, he's got a gap of about 7 seconds over the number 1 Logitech entry of Luke Harvey and Ian Ford. Now I'm having a look at Hobbo's retro livery. Yeah, that's an old one. That's my technical skills there, Daniel. It's an old paint job, that one.
Yeah, I can't think of the actual car that it ran on, but I have a feeling it might have been one of the Dick Johnson cars from memory. But I'm sure, like I said, the viewers in the chat will be able to definitely tell us which one that is.
I reckon it's actually a lot earlier than that. I'm going for it's probably something out of the 70s era, maybe earlier. Okay, viewers, help us out here. What's that retro livery?
Well, actually, apologies for me. I was actually looking at the wrong car, so yeah, you're probably damn right.
Yeah, I sort of imagined that on one of the old Holden Monaros, but I'm probably wrong there.
Yeah, definitely. Either that or what were the old ones that used to run, the old VK Commodores or something like that as well.
It just has that feel about it, but anyway, I'm sure someone's madly Googling for us and they'll come and tell us. But yeah, then Luke Harvey, of course, he's in the Logitech entry, another retro livery. I'm not sure what that one's from either. And then Glenn Postlethwaite, well, that's definitely retro, and I love this one. He brings it out every retro round, doesn't he? And it's based on one of those old Channel 7 sponsors, I think. I think that was a Tirana that was probably on.
Yeah, actually, I think it was Glenn's car I was looking at myself, so it looks pretty similar to it. I couldn't tell you for the life of me, though, what Luke Harvey's car's modelled on, but the black and white, black and yellow one, that's quite striking, though.
It certainly is. It's like a bumblebee, that one. Just trying to find some action here for you folks. They're spread out quite a bit in the top 10, that's for sure. We're just going deeper into the field. Looks like Phil Piggott, Thomas Hinds is having a bit of a battle, and Phil's carrying a lot of damage to the left front of the Laser Racing entry, and you can just see the difference in speed as Thomas now has a look up under the inside there as they come, I think that was Griffin's, and up to the where are they coming up to? The cutting, I think.
Yeah, so both of those two are coming up through the cutting there. It looks like, yeah, Phil's sporting a fair bit of damage on the front left corner of that car as well.
Yeah, he's definitely down on top end speed. We're having a look as he's going across the mountain, and he's he's going to get the wall. He's really manhandling this car, trying to keep it on the track at the moment.
Yeah, it's not you really don't want a loose car that's very nervous in the rear coming down the mountain here. It's scary enough when the car's working, but have a car that's a bit all over the shop's not what you want at all.
No, well, he's definitely working that wheel. Some of it is, of course, the servers and the lag, but he's definitely looking very busy in there tonight.
Yeah, I'm just having a look back through the chat. Looks like one of the viewers, Sean Thompson. Good old Sean, he's always out there. He actually pointed out that the Logitech car is actually an old Alan Moffat livery.
Oh, okay. Geez, that must be an old livery. Well, Alan Moffat, he's pretty old, isn't he?
Well, either that or Sean showing his age.
Yeah. Just having a look at the back on the roof cam here. Just having a look at Thomas Hinds now, ranging up under brakes. He looks like he's got David Baxter wants to join the party as well. But I tell you what, Thomas definitely gets off the corner a lot better than Phil does.
Yeah, Phil's not going to really, a little bit of rubbing there. He's not really going to probably fight him too hard. He'll just settle in behind. He lost obviously a little bit of momentum getting the tyres on the dirt there, so that's going to open it up nicely for Phil. So here we go, David Baxter up the inside into turn 1 down Mountain Straight.
You can just see how much Phil's losing in top end speed up Mountain Straight there, can't you? And again he goes really wide trying to get that car to turn in, and it doesn't look like it wants to, so these guys are definitely going to have to look at that car as this race progresses. Hopefully it's the damage that's causing this and not so much a setup.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've still got the option to tweak a front or rear anti-roll bar in these cars, which might help get the nose in a little bit more in the corner, and obviously you can play around your brake bias to tuck the nose in a little better, but very nervous car by the looks of it.
Yeah, you can see he's just losing time, isn't he, as we see him once again go over the top of the mountain with Thomas and David now starting to get a bit of a gap. And just the lines he's taking, you can tell that car's not performing to his liking.
No, and I mean, the biggest thing around here, and you really want that sharp car, but if she's a bit of a pig in the opening stint, and having said that, we're only 11 laps in now, that's a long way to get home with a non-desirable car there.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be a very long day in the office now. We're having a look back at Hobbo's car, thanks to Nathan Connor out there. He says this car's based on the 1977 Peter Brock Tirana livery. So there you go.
Okay, I'm just having a look here. Looks like we got car 1 coming into pits. Luke Harvey, so I'm not really sure what's happening here, whether that's a scheduled stop or not.
I'd say it is. The pit window opened at lap 9, didn't it? So I'd say they're going to go for a scheduled stop here. Just keeping an eye on it. So it looks like Luke's going to stay in the car and double stint it.
Yeah, which isn't a bad run. I mean, 11 laps is probably only getting up to halfway through the tank, but coming in, he came in P3. He's going to exit. Looks about 10th, but just as he comes out, he's got next to him Kyle Sloggett from Driscoll Australia right up next to him.
Yeah, and that may not be a bad call, because we know if a safety car comes out here, the guys can't go to the pits. They get one opportunity, but basically the way it works, folks who are new to this series, when the random safety car comes out, the pit lane's closed. The guys all get to queue up behind them. I think they do some wave arounds, and then the pit lane opens. And they only really get one opportunity, don't they, Daniel? Because the following lap they're back to racing.
Yeah, definitely. And the other big issue we see, and it's more of an iRacing thing with the pit stops here, is if you get up past that car, obviously you've got the shorter entrance to pit lane. If you don't judge it right, you're potentially likely to get a stop and go.
Okay. That's because of the NASCAR rules, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we see that happen a lot at Phillip Island. That's probably another big one where that's an issue.
Yeah, so that's just the length of the pit lane and the speed they're going past, is it?
Yeah, and obviously when you're coming through the pit lane here at Bathurst, you're coming off into the lane a lot before the final corner, but you've got a lot shorter track to make it to the lane, so you've really got to judge your speed really nice.
Yeah, and that can be pretty hard, can't it, when you're under pressure and you're trying to get the car in, especially with the complicated entry of Bathurst. It's, I can understand why they've designed it the way they have, but geez, it's a technical entry.
Absolutely, and looks like we've also got Ryder Sullivan in the 227 Evolution Racing car in for his stop. I don't think there's a driver change, no, but that's another good looking livery. That looks like one of the old, what was that? Was it a VK Commodore with the old big wide body kits those cars used to run?
Yeah, I think that was it. The old Group A's, weren't they? Group A? I think it was Group A or Group A, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, Group A there, but I mean, those cars look great, don't they?
Well, they certainly do. Have you seen one in the flesh?
No. Actually, no, I have, yes, at the Bathurst Museum there, and they do look quite nice.
Oh, they look beast, don't they? You can also see the 17 is also coming in. I think that's another Craig Lowndes livery, as he's got the green-eyed monster eyes on that one. Yeah,
it was a very popular car from Craig Lowndes back in the day, and that was Was that the car that he went to when he transitioned from Holden to Ford?
Yeah, I think that was his Ford one, wasn't it? The Ford livery came out in there. And I'll tell you what, those were contentious days, weren't they? I think he was the first driver to really jump like that, wasn't he? And it started a whole new way. Not only the spectators probably view their drivers, but also a lot of the way drivers now just jump between brands.
Well, yeah, I think more so with Craig. You know, he came up the ranks with what's his name, Peter Brock there. So that was always a big one. That all the Holden fans obviously thought he was deserting and moving on to Ford, and the Ford fans loved it. They had someone that was quick in the car again. But we've seen as time's gone on, obviously Craig's come back to Holden, and yeah, it's, you know, everyone's going to move seats, but I think he's come back to the right team.
Yeah, for now. I don't know. He probably got too sick of winning, did he?
I think so, but I don't know. There's something that weird goes on with the older drivers as they tend to sort of phase out. I think we normally see them end up in a Caltex car, which is nothing against Caltex themselves or the drivers, but it's almost the out the door car, isn't it?
Yeah, the exit lounge.
Almost.
See, at the moment there's a bit of a battle shaping up here between Glenn Postlethwaite, or we'll call him Posy, because I butcher his name all the time. Bo Cubis just ahead of him and nearly into the wall, and right behind him is Thomas McMillan coming across the mountain. He's also carrying damage. Looks like that's going to be the theme tonight. Let's lose some panels on the front, left or right.
Yeah, you're going to have to be very, very square with your entrances and exits, and save those corners and leave it right to the end of the race to use up those fast repairs if you can.
Yeah, and how many fast repairs have they got tonight?
I have a feeling for this one it's only the 2, so we've seen a few cars obviously that have taken them early on. That's not a good start to these races.
No, generally when you have to get in early and you're in trouble, it's normally magnified around this place, and generally your day doesn't get any better. If anything, it's going to get a lot worse pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. So if you can, if you do have to hit a wall or you get contact with another car, if you can keep it relatively low and either follow up in that draft or have enough top end speed, you might not be too bad. But for the guys that have ruined it hard, and we obviously saw Craig Jones earlier hitting that wall pretty hard, they're going to have to take that fast repair and use them up.
Yeah, looking at the cars that I would say have used a fast repair, as we were saying, the 056 definitely has used a fast repair, as his car looks brand new for the time being. I think Liam Wild in the Zuva entry most likely has used a fast repair, as well as possibly Matt Morris in the nice retro Lowndes livery there.
Yeah, and I think potentially also the Rusty Nuts car has used up one of their fast repairs. They came in rather early as well.
Yeah, and of course the Synergy car, Todd Parks is driving that. They also had to come in. Again, we saw him go into the wall just like Craig Jones did, exiting the chase down there. The pit stops continue, folks. The people that have made a scheduled stop, we've had Luke Harvey, the number 1. They were the first one to come in. Ryder Sullivan, his teammate for ERT, followed him in as well. Looks like Kai Sloggett in the 408 has also had his scheduled stop, and Matt Leopardovin has also had his scheduled stop. And tell you what, this looks like a Benson and Hedges BMW M3 livery.
Yes, well, actually it's the Ford Sierra livery, not the BMW one, but yeah, they do look quite good, those cars.
They certainly do. Sorry, folks. Sierra. Those days were a bit of a blur.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we saw once Benson Hedges moved over with Longhurst into, was it Longhurst or was it Morris? And they had that issue in the BMWs, and there was the odd fist throwing through the window net.
Yeah, well, Longhurst got out of the car and punched Morris in the face, didn't he? After those two got together, and they were teammates.
Yep, very. I mean, your friends were your enemies, and they were the closest ones to you, weren't they?
I'll tell you what, punching Morris in the face, you're risking your own life and limb, I think. But unless he's a gentle giant. See Brenton Hobson now in the pits here, taking his scheduled stop. He's dropped down to 8th at the moment. But what I'm interested to see is where he comes out in relation to Luke Harvey here, who's just coming onto the straight now. He's just leaving the pits now as Luke Harvey. It's going to be close. So Luke's now just coming through Hell Corner, and he'll get him from momentum as Brenton Hobson gets out just in front of him and goes straight into the defensive posture.
Yeah, and I'm actually really surprised we haven't seen Dwayne Warren come in, who's currently leading the race. He's got just on a 15 and a half second lead last time we went over the line, so doing it quite easy, but we haven't seen them coming in yet.
Yeah, well, I've got him with a gap of 25.7 seconds to Bo Cubis now.
So we had you with the audio glitches, and I'm getting the telemetry glitch.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's, Bathurst wouldn't be Bathurst if we didn't have some sort of issue.
No, not at all.
So I tell you what, Hobbo did a great job getting that car up to speed and hold that position, because I thought he was going to get done there.
Yeah, I think I actually missed that pass there.
Yeah, well, he held off Luke Harvey in the end, but interesting looking at the pit times. Luke Harvey did a 23.8 second stop, where Brenton Hobson 30.9 second stop.
Alright, so obviously if we get a safety car too, yes, you might have saved a little bit of time, but that'll recompress that field, so probably early on not too much of a big issue, I wouldn't think. No,
it's just if they do that every single time, it'll probably add up to they'll probably get about a 20-second gain overall, but you're right, with the safety cars it's not going to count until the last one comes out, and then of course all bets are off from there on.
Yeah, definitely. You pretty much the age-old Neil Crompton quote, you're buying a ticket to the grand final at the end.
Yeah, that's one of those quotes. The other one is, I reckon, as soon as that last safety car comes in, we're going to be looking at a sprint race when these guys go at it, because then if Dane Warren had this sort of a gap, he'd be sitting very pretty.
Yeah, very much so. And I think, this is probably showing my age. I remember one of the old Scaife races. I think they were in the VT Commodore when he was still with Holden Dillertine. He got the old plastic bag up in the front air intake, and he went from nearly a 30-second lead, and I think only just scraped home with the win.
Yeah, those would have been tense times, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing worse than an overheating race car.
Yeah. That's for sure. We've got a car in trouble coming up the top, up the mountain there. It's he's getting out of the way, but he's got a lot of damage on the front of that car. Just didn't get a number. It's just trying to work out who it is. It's just behind Greg Sharp now. Looks like 069. Maybe it's a 06. No, it's not. Yeah, it's Paul Chetcuti for Townsville Mobile Locksmiths, carrying a lot of damage as he comes down the mountain now. I thought it was a white car because he's missing the whole bonnet.
Yeah, actually we saw these guys having a bit of an issue early on, and he had a really nice looking car in the old HRT Brock livery there, but that's the second time I've seen that car now without a bonnet. In just under 16 laps, it's not a really good sign for things to come, I don't think.
No, well, if they come in again, that'll be their second fast repair done. Total distance here tonight, folks, it's either 105 laps or 4 hours limited. Now, these races are normally very close, within 10 minutes, whether we go time limit or whether they actually get to the end. But either way, it's a hell of a long way to go. Lap 17 with the car as badly damaged as this.
Yeah, I'm just watching. Thomas Hinz has just come in out of P7 for his first stop of the night as well. It doesn't look like there's any driver changes going on, but just full fuel and a new set of tyres.
Okay, so looks like a lot of the guys want to. Looks like they're happy to be double stinting at the moment. You can see Henry King sitting in 11th in the Zuva entry, and he of course entertained us all post-race with his drift show. So we'll see if any of the guys do that again tonight.
Well, it's one of these things. These cars love getting sideways post-race. They're not the nicest thing to handle during race.
No, that's for sure. See now Michael Talenjak as they come across the mountain for the 17th time, starting to try to close in on David Baxter. He's within a car length. Looking at their times, he's actually 0.3 of a second faster last lap than David Baxter.
Yeah, and I've just had a quick eye on our race leader Dane Warren. He's had the same issue, just getting onto the front straight to begin his 18th lap there. He just caught the rear on the curb and nearly put the thing into the pit wall. He had a great save just to avoid everything, but that's a real heart in the mouth moment there. Actually, sorry, lap 19 it was.
Of course, I try to go back to it and we can't get it, so there you go.
Yeah, very lucky boy. I mean, we saw early on the cars getting up on the ripples. They were really unsettled in the rear there, and it wanted to spit them sideways. And Dane's done a great job just to keep that off the walls and nice and straight.
Yeah, well, that would be heartbreak, wouldn't it? If you go into the wall there and you're on the main straight, you've got a heck of a long drive back to the pits.
Yeah, definitely. And the angle he would have hit the wall, there would have definitely been some steering damage associated with that one. So a great driving and car control from him to avoid it, but certainly not the place you want it at this time of the race.
No, that's for sure. So you would have gone from 0 to 0 there. That would have been the equivalent of ignoring your race engineer and running out of fuel with a couple of laps to go, wouldn't it?
Yep, and we've seen that move a couple of times in recent years, haven't we?
That's right, and the only other time it's any worse than that is if you don't listen to your team orders and miss your pit stop and then go past the safety car under yellow, or when the lights are flashing red. I think whoever did that, they'd be pretty sore about that as well.
Yeah, I think that might have been the same person that ran out of fuel, wasn't it?
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, probably is. I can't think, has he done a third one? I think he has, isn't he?
Oh, I'm sure there's been a third indiscretion somewhere along the line. I mean, the only recent one that we've seen in iRacing would have been Nick Heusler last week, where he came through for a stop, missed the stop, and his pit crew was sitting there nicely eating ice cream and having a barbie.
Yeah, exactly right. Talk about cheeky.
Very much so. I didn't think that happened, other than seeing it in the old Days of Thunder movie, but yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, well, I guess these are pretty close to NASCARs, or I shouldn't say that. I might get a lot of hate mail. What do you reckon?
Well, it depends if you're into that sort of a thing. And NASCAR's a bit of fun, but give me a road course so you won't get any complaints from me, mate.
Yeah, you can see the locksmith car just getting out of the way of David Miller here as they come down the hill. And yeah, that locksmith car, he's doing a great job staying out of the way of these guys.
Yeah, very much so. We're just going to need to keep a close eye on our race leader and Bo Kubis currently running second. Those two haven't stopped yet. Actually, who we got? The top three still haven't pitted yet, and 19 laps on this run, so nearly empty on fuel as well.
Yeah, they're going as deep as they can, aren't they? And this is what we were saying in the pre-race show about the pit lane. And I think it stays open to around about lap 25. I think it's the total range I can get out of these.
Yeah, so it's going to be close on how long they can get, but one of the guys starting to come back through the field, and we saw him pit early, was Brenton Hobson in the 88 car. He stopped on lap 4, so slowly making his way back up through the field there as well.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on him as this race unfolds. You can see now Dane coming through, staying out. He goes past the 0-1-2. He's actually starting to put a few guys down a lap now. We had 40 starters here tonight, folks. Only 27 are still on the lead lap, but of course, here we are. We're under safety car, so right on the queue. And I tell you what, some of these guys are going to be, especially Dane Warren, is going to be regretting not coming in that lap. But hindsight, what do they say, 2020? I don't know.
Yeah, always. Well, hindsight's always 2020. However you go with it, but most of these guys, I think, well, Dane's especially, put it in 6th gear on your crawl, and there'll be a lot of guys clutching the cars in to get them down off the top of the mountain and down Conrod. So he probably will save a fair bit of fuel in doing so.
Yeah, and he's decided not to drive past the safety car. I think this is exactly where it happened too. That other bloke we're talking about.
Yep, exact same spot. I think the safety car was just on the inside there, sitting still, and apparently the lights were off, and he went straight through.
Yeah, so let's have a look at your top 10 as they stand, folks, and before we go back. So All-Star Motorsport pretty much have legged this race start to finish. They did get it out to 31.9 seconds, which means nothing now. Bo Cubis, for this is our team name, in second. Third, Laser Racing 1 team in third, followed by Progression Racing Australia 1 in fourth, Performance Motorsports Chassis 1 in fifth, Redback Racing 031 is sitting in sixth, Synergy Sim Racing 1 in seventh, eighth, Evolution Racing Team 1 ninth, Performance Motorsports Chassis 3, and rounding out your top 10 is Stealth Sim Sports 7.
It's going to be very interesting now too, because we're going to have, we've got a lot of lap cars in between our race leader at the moment, and just trying to find our way back to current P2. What have we got? We've got 5 or 6 cars in between him and the race leader, so obviously Dane's going to need to pit, and I dare say Bo's going to be pitting right after this one, so it's always nice to have that little bit of a head start. You can attack that pit lane entry, but yeah, they're going to definitely fall down a little bit and have to work their way back up.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen here? Will they be waving around some of these cars that are in between the leader and Bo? Or?
I have a feeling, though, we'll probably wave them around once the pit stops are done, because I want to obviously get the leader up behind the pace car there. So that shouldn't be too bad. But I think just watching Dane here, he's trying to use every little bit of draft and trick that he can to sit up behind that Porsche safety car.
Yeah, he's definitely almost bump drafting it, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely, and it's a hard thing to sort of keep the car down on that 88 k pit limit or speed limit that you've got to do. So a lot of tapping the brakes and just coasting through will be the way that they'll need to do it.
Yeah, to make sure they get that car back, because he must be pretty low on fuel, you'd think, as we're just riding with him at the moment. Let's see what gear he's in. He's actually got him in first gear, would you believe?
Yeah, he must have the clutch in that one, and just trying to look quickly down through telemetry here just to see how many cars we've got that haven't stopped, and we've definitely got the first 5 that are all running similar strategy at the moment. It looks like we've got another 3 or 4 that are still yet to make their stop as well. So some of the boys are going very long into these stints, which might come back to hurt them a bit later on.
Yeah, well, the pit lane's closed this time by, isn't it? No, it's not. Dane dives in the last minute. What about Bo Cubis? Is he following him? He is. Dane did the old NASCAR bluff, but he was bluffing cars that are a lap down.
Yeah, we're just going to have to watch. You see the guys as they come in through Bo and Adrian Zeal and a few of the other guys, they're going very slowly to avoid getting that pit lane passing incidents.
You can just see them there streaming in now into the pits, and I'll tell you what, we've had probably 3/4 of the field come in, so it's going to get very busy down here in pit lane.
It is, and if I look at the numbers correctly, that's actually going to promote Ryder Sullivan up from, I think he was 6th or 7th in the position at the moment, up to 1st. So good outcome for him. He's only had 9 laps on this stint since he last stopped as well.
Yeah, well, that's where their strategy's coming into play now, isn't it? He stayed out. I'm looking for Luke Harvey, though. It doesn't look like... Yeah, Luke stayed out. No, he hasn't. He's come back in the pits by the looks of it. So they've split that strategy between Ryan O'Sullivan and Luke.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, obviously with safety car being out now, it's a free pass to get in and get out again. So not as big a loss as you would have had further on in the stint, but it's very interesting to see. Obviously, that's their second stop now in as many in what is it, 22 laps now.
Yeah, so they've obviously decided it's time now to. Well, I guess they're going to split their strategies between the two, leave one out, and see how they go, and bring the other one in to cover off these guys, and see which one's going to pay off.
Yeah, definitely. But it's something we see with RRT. They're very good on their strategies, especially these longer events. The Blanc Pan Series, the V8 Endurance, or even when they go into like the iRacing official ones, like the Le Mans and that. They're very good on their strategies, and they'll just be sort of playing around and seeing what they can get out of these cars, I think.
Yeah, because they've really got nothing to lose tonight, have they? As far as the championship goes, because it's pretty much wrapped up for RRT.
Well, yeah, definitely, and I think Luke, who we've got, Ian Ford, he's wrapped the series up with who was his teammate? I've just got to have a look back now.
It's Luke Harvey.
Yeah, Luke Harvey. So I mean, they're in a good position. They've clearly held this.
Yeah, so we can see Luke now. They're down there in 9th position and looking good. Daryl Hockey, he did a very short stop for Stealth Sim Sport 2, 13.5 seconds, but if you look at Thomas Hinds, he must be one of the quickest, 10.6 seconds in 0.85.
Yeah, I don't think Thomas was in that much, or that long ago actually. He's already made a stop too.
Yeah, so that's just a bit of a top-up now, I'd say, to keep them going until either the next safety car or the next pit window opens for them. You can see Ryan O'Sullivan now behind the safety car as they come into Caltech's chase. They'll be starting lap 22 here, folks, and we'll be back to racing conditions. So another famous person said, what do they say? Safety cars breed safety cars?
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully not. We got through pretty unscathed in the beginning there. It wasn't too bad, but let's hope not as this race goes on.
Yeah, which reminds me, I've been taking down a few quotes from Le Mans to try to weave into our broadcast tonight.
Well, it will be quite good, I think.
As he sighs. Okay, we're back to race conditions here, folks. Ryan O'Sullivan leads him across the line. Bruce Keeley in second. He's got Adam Zeidinger, the birthday boy, in third. Fourth, Thomas McMillan, and rounding out your top five is Todd Parks for Synergy Sim Racing.
Yeah, good clean start. A little bit of 2x2 as they get out of the first corner there. Everyone's playing pretty nice. No one off track at the moment, which is really good.
You can see Brenton O'Brien down here, 15th. He's battling away with Michael Talenjak, Gene Fittis, and it looks like your team name is here, the 26, has Marty Carroll in that car. So Bo Cubis out, Marty Carroll in. The 333 slowing, going up the mountain. You don't want to be seeing that on the restart, do you?
No, not at all. But I think he's a lap down car, so he's just trying to let everyone get out of the way. But not the place you want to be letting people driving by.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a lap downer, you're better off trying to keep it going until you get down the straight, or are you better off trying to get out of their way? I'd sort of think I'd go for the first option myself.
Yeah, I think you want to be out of the way as quick as possible, but trying to get out of the way up through the cutting is probably not the most ideal. So, like I said, up the mountain straight is probably ideal. Maybe I think there's a section across the top of the mountain you might be able to duck out of the way, and definitely down Conrod.
Yeah, definitely down Conrod, and we're riding on the nose cam now with Adam Zeidinger. You can see now he's getting the draft starting to work in. He should jump out here. He does. We'll see if he can make this pass. Did it quite easily, didn't he? In fact, the 248 also got past, but then he outbraked himself as he re-enters the track. I'll tell you what, that had memories of another Bathurst, I think it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's certainly not a... oh God, it's very easy to go off there if you're battling as hard as they are. And, he did the right thing, just sort of got off the brakes and let it roll through, and he's in a fairly hefty fight now. Who's he fighting with? Luke Harvey at the moment, who's just got up the inside of him.
Yeah, he's got Luke Harvey in front as Luke's now covering him off. Thomas wanted the inside there, and Luke's saying you're not having it, go around the outside, and if you've got a good car you might be able to hang on. I'm sure his manager's telling him he's got 4 perfectly matched tyres here and he can go on the outside, but he would be wrong because he couldn't.
Yeah, you definitely can't pass going on the outside of turn 2. And, he's done quite well just to tuck in and get out of the way.
Yeah, we've seen in real life as well as in sim racing, if you get too wide out there, there's no coming back.
Yeah, not at all. And we've seen a few cars that have actually been caught off in the outside there in years gone past in the real Bathurst 1000, which isn't great.
Yeah, no, it's not great at all, is it? They normally they don't run too well after they go in at that place, that's for sure.
No, not at all. What was the worst one we saw was David Bernard, I think, put it in backwards and set fire to the track there, which is not something we've seen that often, but not something you ever want to see either.
Yeah, well, the flame was running down the road, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it was just going with the way the fuel was hammering out, but he did well to get out of that car really quickly. Obviously, race control and safety car team did a great job in getting back there.
Yeah, well, V8 Supercars have done a really good job recently with the way they've improved the safety of these cars, and I think that was all from that big fire we had. Well, there was a couple, wasn't there, but I think the big one was the Perth one, was where they said enough's enough.
Yeah, well, I think that was off the start. Was it Dave Reynolds that was in the car in that one?
I'm not sure, but it was Barbagallo. As we see the 017 getting it crossed up there under brakes, the move was on, and he got a shunt there by Marty Carroll, was also involved in that, and the 094 Daryl Hockey.
Yeah, the guys are getting the elbows out at the moment, trying to find that position and get themselves settled in, but all in all, really good restart. Nothing major that we've seen that's caused any issues, but it's a lot of hard racing, which is what we want to see.
It certainly is, and we can see now from Gene Fittis's car too wide. Talonjack on the outside, he goes slow, and that was he was trying to get past Daryl Hockey, but now they're going too wide up here into the cutting. I'll tell you what, they're playing nice. We've seen two very good mates there go into the wall, and they ended up having a barbecue together.
Well, that was if that's the Ambrose and Murphy incident you're talking about, yeah, that was pretty well fisticuffs on at that point.
I was really surprised that happened because they were besties, weren't they?
Oh, the best of evil enemies, I think.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they were pointing at each other, and Ambrose was saying, I'm going over to NASCAR now, and Murphy was going, well, I wish you the best, mate. It's been great racing with you.
Absolutely. But no, everyone's doing really good, but I think the way they left the room, especially getting out of the cutting, we obviously seen the really bad dip where you're trying to pluck third gear on a nice little short shift there. Was really good, and no one got out of shape, but yeah, I would not want to be too wide up through the cutting at any point with anyone here.
No, definitely not. And we can see now Aaron Lee's jumped into the car, the 031, to replace David Baxter, and Aaron was the profiled on V8's Online this week as the driver of the week, so if you want to have a look at a bit of history of Aaron, go over there and check it out.
Well, Aaron's been running a long time with Redback Racing. Obviously, we saw him last year in I think it was the HPD those boys ran in the Australian Endurance Series. So he's no stranger to going long distance racing, but very smooth, very clean, and gets about his business well.
Yeah, he certainly does. Yeah, he's been with Redback for quite a long time now, and we've got 2 cars around there. That was one of the Redback boys down there at Hell Corner, we saw in the background, and he got a big nerf. But yeah, Aaron's also got a Formula V he's bought, and he takes that to track days and has a bit of a run in it, and he's extremely good as well when it comes to radio control cars. I think he was actually Australian champion in his class a couple of times.
It's really good to see that. Obviously we got the guys using this as a training tool as well as not just a bit of fun, but just looking back here at that incident with it's like Matt Clowett, Dave Miller, who was in the Stealth Sim Sports car, Pete Sattler. Pete locked the rears up, got a bit squirrely, and it's taken out a couple of cars in that exchange.
Yeah, we're just having a look at the replay now, and yeah, the 056 was straight in the side there, and the 032, so 2 Redback boys were involved in that. So that's and the Stealth Sim Sport also, as the David Miller tried to get it off the track, the 067 got into him as well.
Yeah, so I guess that's obviously a product of the real tight racing that we've got here. I mean, most of these drivers race each other week in, week out, and know where they can push and where they can't. But yeah, I think that was a little bit too far there from Pete. But he tried to do the right thing too and back out of it and let the other guy back in front after that incident.
Yeah, well, they normally redress, don't they, when they can. At the moment, your top 5, folks, we've got ERT, Ryder Sullivan, leading the race at the moment, and then we've got Adam Zeitinger in second for ERT as well in the Lowndes Better Electrical livery, I think that was. Third is Bruce Keeley for Synergy Sim Racing, and right behind him is where the action is. Todd Parks, Synergy Sim Racing. On the inside, it's got Luke Harvey right behind him, and then Darren Warren is also in the mix here.
Yeah, I'm just looking a little further back. I just saw a bit of an incident getting through the chase. Must have been just before you went on to the top 5 there, between Adam Dodds and Daryl Hockey in the chase. And Adam's come up the inside, and I don't know whether Daryl's not seen him, but it's put both of those 2 cars off, and Dale had the car up on 2 wheels after that little exchange.
See if I can get a replay of that. Of course, it's really hard to get replays here, isn't it? Because they don't have a lot of off tracks because it's full of walls everywhere.
Well, yeah, not just that too. I mean, everyone's spreading out. We've got 40 cars and teams to get through, so definitely makes finding them a little bit hard. Not probably as hard as we found at Phillip Island, but certainly up there as one of the harder ones.
Yeah, so where was that incident? Was it at the chase, did you say? Yeah,
it was just turning into the chase. Adam came from a little way back, brought up the inside, and I don't think he was quite there to make the move. And as Darryl's turned in, they've just collected, and Darryl spun to the outside of the track.
Yeah, I think we've just got it now. We'll have oh yeah, 2 wheels up, all right. And yeah, inside, and the other car, the WPC concreting the outside. It was a pretty heavy hit, wasn't it?
It was indeed, and actually it's all happened in front. Todd Parks has just gone off a similar incident again at the chase, and he's hit Luke Harvey in the front corner and run it off in the dirt. But it's all happening now. Everyone's having a move in the chase, aren't they?
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'll have a look at this replay as well as Todd Parks comes into the chase. But yeah, we've had quite a lot of action down here tonight.
Well, it's standard place for a good overtake. I mean, obviously coming down, we're at nearly 300 k's an hour through there, and if you can get up the inside and stop it, nice. I mean, that's an easy spot to make, but everyone's having a move for it at the moment.
And they certainly are, and you can see It's part of the replay in the background there. Martin Carroll also making a move. I think that was on Thomas Hinds.
Yeah, we see week in, week out with Thomas. He's always hovering around that top 10 and doing a really good job. He's not that far behind Marty Carroll, who's sporting another great looking retro livery from the Bottle days of Ford Performance Racing. In turn, obviously right up Bruce Kelly's clacker there in the Synergy Sim Racing car.
We're on the nose cam now as we see Bruce Kelly's clacker as we come down the mountain. All the international viewers are probably wondering what a clacker is.
Yeah, well, you're getting a good view of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think if you get a chance to come out to the mountain to watch either a 12-hour or a Bathurst, if you can get up near the coming down off Skyline through the S's there, you'll see some phenomenal car control and racing there.
Oh, it's unbelievable watching them come through there. I saw them doing that last year and I couldn't believe the speed these guys were getting. And that was in the GT 12-hour. And coming down the S's towards the dipper there was something to behold, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's one of those bits of road that's exceptionally hard to get right, but when you do, it's an amazing bit of road. I think last year or this year we saw in the GT cars, Kaz Nakajima actually plucked the front wheel of the Nissan off going through that little section of curves as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. As the Synergy Sim Racing car goes wide, did he keep it off the wall there at Griffin's? He did, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, and good driving by Marty Carroll too. He just got up the inside, left him plenty of room, and Martin's back up on the backside of Bruce Kelly again.
There was definitely a good move there, and Todd's now sitting in 8th. Thomas Hinds just hovering in the background in 9th, and we'll see Sean Thompson into that car later on tonight. And tell you what, these guys, they're as you were saying, hovering around 9th. When it goes well for them, they're very, very dangerous. But when it goes, as we see, who was that going off just ahead of us there? He came back on.
Yeah, that was Bryce.
Oh, it got messy, didn't it?
It did. Bryce, really, really good forethought. He took it off the road, got down through the inside of that section there, gave everyone plenty of room, but that could have ended up a lot worse if he tries to chase getting it down on the racing line.
Yeah, and he tried to stay out of the way, and of course it checked up the Synergy boys, but he did a good job to stay out of their way as much as he could.
Absolutely, and I mean, a second or two there in the grand scheme is not 20, 30, 40 seconds that you've got to spend in pit lane doing another fast repair, and then obviously losing that fast repair.
Oh, exactly right. Oh, there's contact between 31-17 on the chase, and a bit of a bump and run there. Aaron got through, and that was Phil Piggott, and also the 890 pounced, and that's Gene Fittis. I tell you what, these V8 boys, when they can smell a bit of blood in the water, they pounce, don't they?
They do, and that was a really good move there by Aaron up the inside there. Like, left them plenty of room. Obviously, we saw Phil getting a little wide, but that's nothing wrong with that. The guys are doing really good. Yeah,
definitely nothing wrong with that at all. It's supercar racing, and there will be panel rubbing. And he touched him enough to unsettle him and just get a better momentum to make that pass work.
Definitely, but you know who's sitting back there rubbing his hands, hoping a little bit more of that happens to him, would be Bretton O'Brien. He's currently 14th in the 226 Evolution Racing Team car. Had a pretty uneventful night. I think I saw a little bit of damage on that car early on before they came in for their stop, but no, they're plugging away really nicely at the moment.
Yeah, sitting there in 14th position. He's lapping 2:08.827 was his last lap, but the thing is, he's lapping consistent and safely. And as this race unfolds, we can expect to see this car move up, especially if the cars in front of him start to run into trouble.
Absolutely, I mean that car's 11 positions up since the start of this race, so driving calm and steady, it's a good way to make your way up through this field.
It certainly is, and that's what he's doing. As we can see now, right behind him is Matthew Wall there, and it looks like by the damage he might have found his surname at some point.
Yeah, it might be, but yeah, we commented on Laser Racing early on in the broadcast. They're a team that they know how to get around. They're pretty calm and collected, and they do a good job. But we've just got a safety car too come out for some reason. I'm not too sure what that's from, but I might see if I can find out from race control.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if this is a second random one. It's very early on, that's for sure, but I don't think there's been any major incident out there on the circuit.
No, not at all, but let me just have a quick chat to Nick. I'll see if I can find out, and I'll come back and let everyone know.
Yeah, no worries. So, folks, we'll find out what's going on for you very shortly, but while the guys queue up behind the safety car, your top 10 as it stands: Evolution Racing Team 227 lead, Evolution Racing Team the 888 in second, All Star Motorsports are making their way back up there in third, followed by Evolution Racing Team 1 in fourth. Tempo Motorsport sitting in fifth at the moment, with This Is Our Team name in sixth, and then seventh Synergy Sim Racing 2, followed by PFR Team GTI 1 in eighth. Performance Motorsports Chassis 1 is in ninth, and rounding out your top 10, Redback Racing 031. So having a look at the weather as well, because we didn't cover this off earlier. Track temp out there, 31 degrees Celsius with the wind speed 14 kilometres an hour and a cool air temp of 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I haven't got an update yet from race control, but I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know once we do.
Yeah, we've got Adam Zeidinger leading, so maybe this is a lap in his honour for his birthday.
Oh, it's a pretty slow way to have a lap of honour, isn't it? I'd rather it at full throttle if I had the choice.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing up there, and or what's brought it out, but I just want to know if this is a second random safety car or not, because if it is, then we've only completed lap 30 of 105 here, which means this race now is pretty much going to go to the end with no safety cars unless there's a big incident.
Yeah, definitely, and it is going to be interesting to see, because like I say, 70 odd laps to get to the end without an incident is a very big call.
Yeah, it'll be actually 75 laps, won't it? And I'll tell you what, as always, the safety car's enjoying itself out there.
It is, and I think iRacing really need to do something to fix that. I've never seen a car spend more time in the wall and still have a clean set of panels on it than what that thing does.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
I know, right? I'm trying to think of some Lamar quotes that I wrote down, but I can't find them.
Well, I guess you could use the old go hard or go home one, but it'll be home at the end of this caution, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. I do know one, but I don't know how to use it, and that's he's got a face like a robber's dog. What the heck do you do with that?
Put a brown paper bag over it.
Yeah, okay. So safety lights are still on at the moment, and no doubt we're going to see cars come back into the pits just for a top up and maybe a driver change.
Yeah, well, we've got the only cars I can see that. Well, I mean, obviously everyone's probably going to want to come in. The only cars that are really looking like they may need to stop soon would be Adam Zeidinger, current race leader. He's done 15 laps on this stint. Trent McCullen from Tempo Motorsport, he's currently fourth. He's got the same 15 laps on his tyres. And Todd Parker from Synergy Sim Racing, he's got 20 laps on that stint. So might be a few changes here.
Yeah, we've got Thomas Hinds in, Michael Tallenjacks in, Gene Fittis has also followed him in, as did Brenton O'Brien, Matthew Wall, So again, busy time here in the pits.
Yeah, it's a good time to be doing it though. Like I said, once that safety car's out, you recompress the field, and then you can reset and go again. But still trying to work out what that yellow's for. If anyone maybe has a lead in with race control that can share it as well, that would be great. But I'll still wait for them to come back to me as well.
Yeah, and we can see them coming out now. While it's quiet, man, it gets busy out there. I like the way they all thread in without running into each other, saying that there's almost contact. But looking at the minimum distance driver fair share, I don't have it at the top of my head. I'm trying to find it, but let's see if we can find it here, because this is going to affect when Ian jumps into that car. Yeah, so having a look here at the moment, 35 is the minimum the co-driver can do tonight, and 65 for the other driver. So we're at lap 31 now, Daniel. So people like Luke, who's been in this car since the start, 4 laps time, they can get out and their job's pretty much done.
Yeah, it's still a long time to be behind the wheel. If you're having to go from lap 35 to the end of the race, that's a long way to be sitting in there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a very long way. And what have we got here? Looks like we have David Baxter down there. We'll bring him up for a bit of an interview, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Hi David, welcome to RRTV's Combox. We're having a look at your car on screen at the moment, 031. We've got Aaron Lee in the car doing a great job, 4th position.
Yeah, thanks Bernie. Aaron's going pretty well tonight. He's liking the handling of the car, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, he's definitely looking happy out there at the moment. He made a great move just before the safety car came out with Phil Piggott there and got another position back. So the car's looking nice and strong. Paint job, very interesting. Looks like you've got a Nissan Retro livery on that car.
Yeah mate, went with a Nissan Retro. Like everyone else was taking all the Ford ones. We didn't want to try and double up, so we thought we'd try something different. Went with the Nissan. So
yeah, it looks really nice. Now we're scratching our head up here trying to work out what this safety car's for. Has race control come across the radios and let you guys know?
no mate, haven't heard anything on why it's coming out. So just whether it's one of the random ones, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're not sure either. It could be either a random one, or kangaroos might be on the circuit somewhere. Just don't know. So as far as racing goes for you guys, we're definitely going to see you back in the car sometime tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'll be hopping back in. We didn't worry about coming in then and doing a top up of fuel, because we've still got about half a tank and wouldn't have made anything out of it. Aaron's still got to do practically 2 full stints before he can get out of the car anyway, so not enough laps for him to hop out yet.
Yeah, that's right. It's a minimum, 35 laps for one of you guys to complete.
Yeah, that's correct. So we'll keep going and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll race the race pace car's in now. We're back under green, having a look at the 031 back under power again. I'm assuming the race is pretty much going to your game plan at the moment.
So any game plans out the window. All we're looking at doing is just trying to keep it clean and see if we can finish one for a change.
Yeah, well, you nearly had Phil Piggott there go through the side of your car, so I should stop talking you boys up, because I'll curse you. But before you go, I'll hand you over to Daniel Lee and see if he's got any more questions for you.
No, Bernie.
Yeah, g'day David, mate. So I've only got only the one question for you. We've seen a couple of cars already tonight, similar to last week, get up on that curb and get a bit twitchy in the rear. Have you guys experienced any of that yet tonight?
Yeah, it is a bit twitchy if you get it up on the curb. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Not too bad early on the stint, but as soon as you get about mid-tank, it starts getting real twitchy if you get it too much on the curbs.
Is that anything you are likely to be able to adjust out with the odd bar tweak here and there, or it's just something you're going to have to ride through?
Oh, we might be able to. We just been running with it and haven't sort of worried about it too much. Just tried to keep it on the top of the track and not worrying about the curves too much at this stage. So just try and keep it clean. It's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, look, mate, we might let you go, get back to it. Looks like Aaron's in a bit of a battle with Thomas there for third position. Before we let you out the box, mate, did you want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, mate. Just like to thank Secure Safe Storage and just thank you guys at RRTV for a good broadcast.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for there's a big crasher down here on the Conrod Straight. We've got about 6 cars involved here, Daniel.
I've just caught the tail end of that. I'm just going to roll through and see what's going on.
It was really messy. We've got the replay here, but it's caused a lot of mayhem down here on Conrod Straight.
Yeah, I think that that had Martin Carroll in it and Matt Hawkins. By the look, it's like Martin's just caught the back end of Matt's car there, and it's sort of a massive chain reaction behind him. So looks like we've had race controls called another caution as a result of this one as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We're having a look at the tail end there. We can see Marty Carroll on the inside getting turned around by, I think that's Matt Hawkins, who comes back across the track, and all hell breaks loose, doesn't it?
Not wrong. I'll tell you who had the drive of the night through that was Thomas Hinz. He got up on the grass, kept it off every bit of wall there, and got back on the road without a hassle. Yeah,
the 18 into the wall heavily, and I tell you what, Talonjack thought he was going to thread the needle, but the 18 had other ideas there, coming back and speared him. Huge damage there, and it's probably claimed, 4 cars at the end of that.
Yeah, we definitely have 4 or 5 that are going to have to come in for a fast repair, but yeah, that's a big incident to see this sort of point in the race.
Yeah, well, the cars were still piling into them up the back there. I know one of the cars second last there coming down there and got caught up in it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, obviously everyone's trying to brake and get out of the way, and you're hoping that maybe someone's not going to roll back through, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff that.
Yeah, especially the speeds they're going. It's really full on. So I tell you what, I wasn't expecting to see that, but fortunately the cameraman and the race director had the cameras pointing in the right direction to pick that up.
Yeah, it looks like we got a car that's looks like he might have blown the engine out of that, and as a result had to stop off the track at the end of Conrod.
Okay, do we have a number there, or I can see Talonjack got back?
Not quite yet. I'm just quickly going back through everything here just to see where we're at with that.
Yeah, and I guess here they can do they can just escape and exit, because unlike the other series, there's no waiting for race control to give you permission to exit the vehicle.
No, not at all. But you've still got, if you've got to get out and get a tow, you're looking at least a minute, maybe minute and a half before you can get back to pits and get another car and get going again. So it's not what you want to see.
No, that's for sure. But I tell you what, one team that wants to see this is All Star Motorsports of 57. They're back in the lead after they were leading pretty much by a country mile before they made the first stop. They've slowly worked their way back up through the field, and Dane Warren, he's back in the lead.
Yeah, they've had a really quick car all night, so those guys are doing really good job just to be getting back there.
Oh, he's doing a really, really good job, and I tell you what, the other teams will be really worried, because basically he's got the pace, he showed it. We've had potentially all the safety cars we're going to see, unless we have another big incident, which is likely. But if this runs to the end now, Daniel, this car's going to be extremely dangerous, because he pulled out like a 30-second gap before the first line of pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. They showed everyone a clean set of heels, and just looking back, I found that car that I saw that had blown engine. That was Michael Talonjack. and he's going to have to take that tow and get back into the fray.
Yeah, well, Michael was so unlucky there because all the cars speared off to the left into the wall, and he went to the right, and he thought he was going to make it, and one of the cars came across and ran straight into the side of him, which caused all that front end damage.
Yeah, and just looking back at what sort of brought that incident on, we saw Bo tucking in for a draft and trying to make it past, I think it was Matt Torkins there, and Matt's tried to come across to cover his line and hold that position, which I don't think the move was on. I mean, it's good for he's trying to have a run and cover it, but if he had given that little bit of warning, he might have had the spotter sort of avoid that, and we wouldn't have had that sort of an issue.
Yeah, and that was Marty Carroll in that car, not Bo Cubis, but it looks like their night's done. Well, of course they're gonna be towed, and then once that's done, we'll see if they've got any fast repairs left for them. But at the moment, nothing's going on in the pits for that car. Same with Michael Talenjak, waiting for that to get towed back, and the PRA Team 1 is also in the pits.
Yeah, we might have to keep a quick eye on where the safety car is relative to these guys, just to see whether they do drop a lap as a result of that incident.
Yeah, well, the safety car's now coming down Conrod Straight towards the chase, and they're just almost entering the chase now.
Yeah, it's a long time to be sat there. If we go off Marty Carroll's coming, they're in there for 4 minutes so far. Gene Fiddles has been in there for 4.5 minutes. Forzan El Nabi in the Performance Motorsport car, that car's been there 5 minutes. So a few guys have been sat here a little while.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long it takes them to tow a car back around Bathurst.
No, I'm not too sure. I think from where they were, it shouldn't be that long. Obviously, you're not that far from pits as far as the crow flies, but yeah, it's certainly taking quite a while.
Yeah, we can see now Aaron Lee's coming in, Phil Piggott's following. We've also got another one of the Laser Racing boys behind him coming into the pits. Dane Warren stayed out, and where's Luke Harvey? He's staying out as well. So a couple of guys are coming in for another top-up.
Yeah, I think it's, it'd be silly to sort of give up the opportunity to top the car off and maybe change some tyres after that and just tweak your fuel strategy a little more. But I guess the other thing we've got to really hope with those guys that have been in there for a while, whether they were quick enough to get that fast repair activated.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, isn't it? If they haven't, they're going to be in there for a long time, especially someone like Talenjak that blew that motor. But they're still sitting in there. They're not moving. You can see, I think Talenjak's out of that car now, and I'm not sure who jumped in, but the 031's coming back out. That's Aaron Lee in that car. I think, yeah, he's staying in that car.
Yeah, so that would have just been a standard stop for those guys. They were well ahead of all that incident that went on behind.
Yeah, well, they could be banking on now under yellow. This could potentially be the last time they pit under yellow, which means all these guys potentially have to stop while the race is on, and it could count as quite a bit of an advantage for them down the track. But we'll just have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you said it before, we had the safety car and we're at another one, so let's hope we don't get a third one in as many laps, but hopefully everyone will just settle down and get back into the sort of racing we saw in that first 30 laps.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's going to take them a bit of time to actually get back into the rhythm. But I tell you what, one of the saves of the night in that incident tonight was the 085 Thomas Hinds. He did a really good job there to keep that car out of trouble. He actually had to go to the left and go towards the grass. I'm not even sure if he made the grass, but he got through pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, he had all four off on the grass. I think there was a bit of air at one point from a bit of jumping in the dirt, but yeah, no, that was a phenomenal drive to keep it all straight and undamaged. But I guess while we're under safety car, we probably should throw out a question to the viewers. What's your favourite retro livery that's currently up? I don't think we did that before, but be interesting to see what's flowing around at the moment, what they all like.
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to work out how we can find out. Do they all just jump in the chat channel and tell us?
Yep, I think that's probably the best way.
Oh, that safety car, every time it hits a wall I jump out of my skin.
Yeah, I remember the first time doing one of the AEC endurance rounds here when that was happening. That was, you're not really prepared for that to happen. And everyone watched it from there on out for the rest of the race, but yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, I think the first time it happened around here, me and Adrian were talking about it, and I think everyone got sick and tired of us laughing about how many times it hit the wall, but yeah.
I've just seen a message from Adam Zeiting. He was saying the 888 car got taken down at the S's before all that incident unfolded on Conrod, so that would be interesting just to quickly, might see if I can go back and have a look as to what caused that.
Yeah, well, it's that car looks like toast at the moment. So I found the car, and I'm just not sure lap 23, so that was a fair ways back. We'll go further up.
Yeah, he actually got hit by Matthew Wall trying to go up the inside through the S's, which is not a passing opportunity that you'd normally see or are ever able to make, but yeah, that was a big crash for Adam there as well. Actually, it looks like too there were quite a few other cars that were in that as a result of trying to avoid Matthew's car as he was spinning back on the track there.
That's no good at all. That's not the birthday present he wants. It's be interesting to see if that car's done for the night. It definitely does look like it, so that's really bad luck for those guys. We're back under racing conditions here. Luke Harvey has taken the lead, and Paul Tajavara in second, third Glenn Postlethwaite, Thomas Hinds, fourth, and fifth is Brenton Hobson. Now, I'm looking for the All-Stars Motorsports car, but I can't see him anywhere.
No, I've actually just been watching the chat. We've actually lost that car to an internet drop. Dane's just reconnecting, but as they're going green, they're going to have to obviously now wait for that car to come back, which is going to set them at least a lap, maybe two behind in this race now, unfortunate for them.
Oh, man. Now that is really... we're under safety car again, guys, so I'm not sure if that's because of this internet drop there, giving him an opportunity to get back in, but I tell you what, it's... yeah, what do they say? Motor racing is a cruel sport sometimes.
Oh, very cruel, and there's a great example. Go from leading the race with probably the quickest car out there tonight to unforced error and have your internet drop.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm meant to be channeling Le Mans here, and all I'm doing is channeling Scafie. So we're gonna have to work here.
Yeah, you might want to find another guy to channel pretty quick, because these safety cars, I'm sure for everyone else involved, are probably getting a little bit boring.
Oh, okay. So you want me to start singing? We could sing "Happy Birthday" to Adam if you want.
Hey mate, you take it away. I'll turn the mic off and let you have fun at that.
No, we've got a few viewers here. I don't want to lose all those guys. I'm still trying to find my post on all my quotes. I was really proud. I sat up all last week and got all these quotes ready for tonight, and I can't find them. I think Daniel's turned off his microphone, folks.
No. I'm just having a quick look back through the timing. I was just trying to see who we had in race control at the moment, just to see if we can kind of get some updates as to what's actually causing these safety cars at the moment.
Yeah, we're getting a few, aren't we? I'm wondering if this was called because of the All-Star Motorsport issue.
Yeah, quite possibly. See what we can find out, and we've got to let the viewers know, hopefully, before this goes back live.
Yeah, definitely. If we can get some info on what's going on out there, that'd be really good.
No worries. I might just duck away quickly. I'll be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, so I found my post, folks, with my quotes of the day, so you'll just have to bear with me here. I'm going to feed them in and you guys can see if you can pick them up, but your top 5 at the moment is ERT, Luke Harvey leading, Portage Avara there in second for Stealth Sim Sport 5 with a very banged up car. Clan Postle Wade or Posy in third, fourth Thomas Hens for the 085 Kiani entry, and we've got Brenton Hobson in the Synergy Sim Racing 1 entry in fifth, up to 37. So a lot of these drivers now would have met their minimum by 2 laps ago. So we'll keep an eye out for any driver swaps as well.
Right, so I've just had a quick word with race control. The first one we saw come out was actually a little bit of an error and the wrong button was hit. So that's cleared us out now for our random safety cars. As for the last two, obviously we had the big issue on Conrod Straight, and this one was actually an issue in turn 2. I'm not quite sure who's involved in that yet. I'm just going to roll back and see if we can get a name or a number at least to what's caused this one.
Okay. Yeah, Daniel, if you're still there, mate, there's a few teams also mentioning that they're getting black flags in the pits again. So
yeah, I think the race control guys will be well aware of those ones. Well, they should be. I think most of the guys watch this broadcast at the same time as well.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what we were talking about earlier, where we're trying to do road racing under NASCAR rules, and the guys get black flags for passing when they come into the pits there at times, and it's something that iRacing I think really needs to look at. So we're under safety cars here at Mount Panorama, folks. As always, it's the mountain is definitely throwing in a curveball. A few people wanted to know when the next season of AOSC starts. I do have the dates. I think we're looking at mid-July. I think it kicks off again. 18th it might be, but don't quote me on that. Go and check out the V8 Supercar forum, and I'm sure when this is all done and dusted, the schedule will go up.
Yeah, I'm just watching this now. There's a lot of cars that were actually involved in this this incident. By the looks of it, there was Isaac Summers in the 718, Rusty Nuts car, Aaron Lee, teammate of Dave Baxter we were just speaking to in the 031, Nick Heusler, Sim Sports 3, Terry Rankin, Performance Motorsports Chassis 4 was involved in that. Matt Torkins, we saw him in the last incident on Conrod, he was involved again. Gene Fiddles, Performance Racing Australia. So a lot of cars that were beat up in that little incident getting off turn 2 up the mountain.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the replay of it, but I can't seem to find it in my telemetry. What lap was that? It must have been lap 36?
Lap 37. I'm just watching Brian Borg, he was involved in that as well. Yeah, that's everyone trying to make a little bit of room where there wasn't any, unfortunately.
Yeah. Was Marty Carroll wasn't involved in it, was he?
No, I didn't see Marty involved. But yeah, definitely a lot of other cars from other teams that were still having good showings tonight.
Yeah, it's quite unusual that I can't pick that up on the telemetry.
Yeah, no, well, we've definitely seen a lot of cars there, so just for all the viewers, that's the reason we're now under safety car again.
Okay, so we completely missed that, but it sounds like it was quite a big one either way.
Yeah, I think it was just, from what I could see, it looks like guys are just trying to push hard on the cold tyres. There was a little bit of curb riding on the exit of turn 2, and it sort of just turned everyone. And then what we've seen in previous Bathurst, it just blocks the room up.
Yeah, well, we can see Aaron Lee out there. Doesn't look like they've had to use a fast repair. But they're sitting down there in 23rd position now. They were up there in 4th, and we've got another car stopped on the top of the hill, and it looks like it's one of the Synergy Sim Racing cars.
Yeah, they've also got Matt Stratford. He looks to be stopped. Where is he sitting at the moment?
Yeah, that's the one I saw. He's up there near the Great. Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, up near the Great. So I wonder if he's got maybe got a end of longest line penalty, and that's another one of them silly NASCAR rules where he's just pulled it to the side, letting everyone through.
Well, everyone's gone and he's still sitting there. It's just there's got no revs or anything. Here he goes. He's going now.
I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but if any of the guys are listening and from Performance Motorsports and they're able to maybe give us an update, let us know on the YouTube chat. We've got that going at the moment, or obviously jump up in the combox and fill us in on how the race is progressing.
Yeah, I think I heard on the team radio they told him to turn it off and reset and turn it on again, so